Hello movie fans and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm going to be covering the new Australian true crime Netflix original, The Stranger. How does this movie compare to others in the genre? And is it worth your time, or should you just investigate the case on your own? Let's talk about it. The Stranger is written and directed by Thomas Wright. It stars Joel Edgerton, Jada Alberts, and Sean Harris. A friendship forms between two strangers. For Henry Teague, worn down by a lifetime of physical labor, this is a dream come true. His new friend Mark becomes his savior and ally. However, neither is who they appear to be. Each carry secrets that threaten to ruin them, and in the background, one of the nation's largest police operations is closing in. True crime is a dime a dozen nowadays. It feels as if we are getting a new documentary, film, or limited series ripped straight from the headlines every week. Our culture's obsession with the genre runs deep. We are constantly searching for the answer to why there is so much evil in this world, and for the comfort that through the help of good Samaritans coming together, that evil can be locked away. As someone who admittedly cannot get enough true crime and falls asleep to Dateline, I'm always on the lookout for a project in this genre that does something completely new that we haven't seen before. And Thomas Wright's The Stranger definitely starts off in a way that made me feel like it was going to do just that. Now, I am aware I'm going to be in the minority on this, as the movie received rave reviews from its premiere at Cannes, but somewhere along the line as this film trudges along, it unfortunately began to fall flat for me. I'm not going to go into detail about the real-life case of Daniel Morecombe, whose name has been changed in the film, because I believe one of the most compelling aspects of The Stranger is the unknown. But I did find myself doing research into the case afterward, and finding myself far more captivated by the facts of the case than what ended up on the screen here. What I really appreciated about the beginning of this movie was how disoriented I felt. From the opening narration about breathing out darkness, to flashes of images of police investigating some sort of crime scene, to the introduction of our lead character Henry on a bus meeting an inquisitive man named Paul. I had no idea what was going on, but I was extremely intrigued right from the start. And this continued as we are introduced to more characters without much of any introduction, and thrown into this seedy criminal underworld, completely left in the dark, just like the bewildered Henry. Our writer-director proceeds to string his audience along for the first act, and we must blindly follow him with only the knowledge that there's more to this situation than meets the eye. But then, Wright decides to divulge the other side of the story about 25 minutes in. This, of course, needed to happen at some point in the film, but I feel like it happened far too soon. If we had gotten closer to these two characters and saw their budding friendship blossom without this knowledge, the impact of the reveal later on would have been so much greater. Because as it stands, once Wright removes the wool from the audience's eyes, the movie begins to feel much more like a generic undercover police procedural, albeit an extremely well-made and acted one. Speaking of which, Thomas Wright knows how to deliver on the atmosphere. The tone of the film is constantly unsettling and filled with mounting dread. The director is also able to respectfully capture the depravity of the crime without ever explicitly showing anything. It's a testament to his filmmaking abilities that I felt so very disturbed while watching The Stranger without a single drop of blood being spilled on screen. Joel Edgerton is quietly devastating in the co-lead role as Mark. The mental turmoil he goes through as this friendship develops is shown through painful stares into the camera. I just wish we had gotten to know this character more, as the only time we really see Mark for who he is when he is on screen with his son. Sean Harris is equally as great as Henry, fully embracing his creepy, beady-eyed persona. But we also are kept at arm's length from this character. Though one of the main points of the movie is the fact that these two are keeping their cards close to their chest, it would have helped if the audience was let in a little more once the reveal had been set into motion, so we could have connected with them on any kind of emotional level. Sadly, I think The Stranger really falters in what it was trying to accomplish. It doesn't work in its approach at the beginning because of its premature reveal. And then it also fails to enlighten the audience on the crime at the forefront, as Wright becomes much more concerned with the psychological toll of going undercover and being in the presence of such evil, which is fascinating and, in my opinion, the most effective aspect of the movie, but I think Wright loses sight of the end goal in the process of exploring that narrative. Let's be clear though, by no means is The Stranger a bad film. In fact, it is a sophisticated alternative to the norm. However, I struggled through its extremely slow burn because I never fully connected with these two characters, their relationship, or to the crime they were involved in. It's a case of being beautifully and intricately made, yet feeling altogether hollow. So I will be giving The Stranger 2.75 packs of cigarettes out of 5. This is a moody, atmospheric, and unsettling film in all of the best ways. But despite some great filmmaking and performances, The Stranger suffers from a lack of deeper insight or a solid emotional core and glacial pacing. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. What are your thoughts on The Stranger? I'd love to hear what everyone thinks because I know I'm gonna be in the minority here, at least based off of the fact that other critics seem to be loving this film. Make sure to be kind and sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.